Hello, everyone. My name is Keely Denenberg. I'm Senior VP of Client Solutions here at Orange Grove Consulting. I am joined today by Michele Kawamoto Perry, Senior Facilitator and Consultant at Orange Grove Consulting. Hi, Michele.
Hi, Keely. Great to be here.
So today, Michele and I are talking a little bit about trust and how trust in leadership is so important for organizations and for the workforce to feel like they can trust their leaders. It offers them, kind of support as they do their work, guidance, that they feel like they can follow their leader when they trust their leader and they give extra, right? It contributes to employee engagement. So, Michele, with all that said, trust seems like it's pretty important. How can leaders develop trust? How can their workforce start to trust them? What can they do? What are the components?
Great question, Keely. And there are several things they can do. Number one is being open, being honest, providing that transparency with people. And that's for whether things are going really well or whether perhaps there's a challenge or things are more difficult. It's really important, especially in those moments, to be open, to be transparent so that people aren't making up stories in their heads about what might be happening, what might not be happening. But if you're open and you're honest with them about here are some of the challenges that we have ahead of us, or here's what we're facing right now, then they're more likely to feel like you can you trust them by telling them that information, and they can trust you because they know that you're going to be open with them. You're not just going to paint a rosy picture. I think another piece of it is also making sure that you show you care. And I know that in a lot of organizations, people still have this old-fashioned notion of you have to be professional and therefore you have to shut off all of your emotions. You can't actually show any sort of emotion when it comes to working with other people, and especially those who might report to you, because it's somehow weak. And actually, that's not true. We are all human beings. As I say, human beings, not human doings. And we have to be able to treat each other like human beings. And the fact of the matter is there are emotions that are involved. And so to the extent that you can show that source of support, that empathy, that you actually genuinely care about someone, they're going to be more likely to trust you because of that. And then also, I think, are you doing what you say you're going to do? That's really important. Are you dependable? Are you someone that I can rely on? So when ultimately I say, I am going to move forward with this project, or I'm going to speak with this individual, or I'm going to make sure you're recommended for a promotion, are you doing those things? Because if you aren't, then people start to become more suspicious of you. They certainly start to think, I'm not so sure this is someone that I can trust, because they've often said many great lofty things, but there's really been no follow through on it. And then finally, are you competent? Are you showing that you're capable of doing the types of, or actually doing the types of things that your role requires? And that's going to be important because obviously they want to follow somebody who they think understands, has knowledge, and ultimately can teach them as well about the role and the responsibilities and what this particular part of the organization is supposed to be doing in order for the organization as a whole to be successful. And a lot of these ideas you can find also from a couple of authors who have written about trust and why it's so incredibly important in organizations. There's a book by Charles Feltman called The Thin Book of Trust. And then there's also a book by Amelia Dunlop and by Ashley Richfield, which is called The Four Factors of Trust. And so you could learn more about these different pieces and why these pieces are important, and ultimately what that provides the organization if, in fact, leaders are able to lean into these factors of trust and bring that to the fore.
I love it. And I love that you provided a reading list for our audience. It's wonderful. When I think about the leaders I've had who have been strong, they had these qualities and they demonstrated them and role modeled them, throughout the organization. And so I think it is really key. And they had my trust and my respect. So yeah, I think you're onto something here.
Or
Well,
certainly a lot of the people who have delved into the research certainly are, and you see it time and time again, right? So again, those leaders that we've all trusted, they are people who we feel do what they say they're going to do. They are people who we feel actually care about us as human beings. They are open and honest with us, right? And they're people who are very good at what they do. They are competent.
yeah, yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Michelle. I think this was a great little conversation. Thanks everyone for listening in, and check back to our YouTube channel to find more conversations like this. Thanks.
Everyone.